Yeah, this is my mom. We lost her, it'll be 7 years now. And she had, they said she had vascular dementia. Yeah. And so anyway, that was her. She used to have this whole fireplace covered in all her kids' pictures. And of course, my sister lives here now, so this is her home. But we had, of course, our fireplace. The living room wasn't real big. And I remember we used to sit here in this living room. It was turned the other way. And we used to have an old TV over there. And it had we used to sit here after our baths on Saturday night. And my mom would always make something. And we'd sit here afterwards and we would watch the Lawrence Welk show with my dad. And so that was a treat of the evening for Saturday. So we used to take a bath whether or not we needed it once a week. So that was fun. So did that, and we had 9 people living here. You know what? Maybe I should show you this closet, because these were about the size of the closets that we had here for 9 of us. I mean, just little bitty closets. We didn't have like a lot of clothes, a lot of things in our house. Okay, so I'll show you like a couple bedrooms. Showing my sister's house for thing. Okay, so this is the hallway. We had 9 of us living here. Of course, a bath. I'll show you that. And 1 bath. It's been remodeled some. But this was my mom and dad's room. This is my mom and dad's bedroom. And again, little bitty closets that they had. And this right here was what we called the girls' room. And it has 1 bed, but there was 3 girls. So we had 2 twin beds, and they were like facing this way, and I just can't remember. I think my younger sister and I slept on this bed right here, the twin bed, and then my older sister was here until she went to high school, and then again we had little bitty closets. So it was just a real simple life, and then I'm not sure she wants me to open this door, but this room right here is the same size as this room, and let me see if I can. It is an office. Yeah, it's probably doesn't want. But this room here was the boys' room, and it had 4 boys living in it, and on bunks. They slept on bunk beds. So so this is our home. This is where I grew up, and then we're gonna go further back, and so we're gonna go into the kitchen. And in this kitchen, my sister's doing her taxes, so this is not fun for her. But this is the kitchen that we grew up in. And what we would do here is my parents had this big long table, and it had benches on it. And on the benches, that's where we sat. My parents sat actually my dad sat always on this end, and my mom next to him. But the benches were all the 7 kids, 8. And so this is where we ate. And so then we had, of course, they had their laundry room, and then another little bath that they had over here. Again, it's different because my sister now lives here. And this was our porch. This has been redone. It's her porch, but then the rest of it went outside, and it wasn't finished like it is now. And we used to go outside, and actually there was a stoop right here, and there's a turkey that attacked me when I was a kid. And so right here, I remember my dad came to my rescue because it wasn't finished like it is right now. So this is my home. But this right here was just this kind of emotional. My mom used to have this place here with strawberries. This was like her strawberry patch over here. We used to do that. And then just over this fence here, didn't used to have a fence, but there was a fence, and we used to have a chicken coop right here, right by where this tractor is. It was a chicken coop, so we used to go there and get the eggs every morning. And just over there, a little further, was a pig pen, and then just over there was a barn, and we had the cows, and of course they grazed throughout the entire field over there. And so, but then we did have a little bit of a fence, because my mom used to have the garden all the way right here. This garden here, and then there used to be an apple tree around here somewhere. I think it's gone now, but an apple tree, and then down there she had I think rows of peas down here, and we would go and pick them and get in trouble. But then down the bottom there, past that fence down there, she used to have pumpkins, huge prize-winning pumpkins. They're huge like this. But down here, all the way up to that blue tarp, you could see my mom had gardens. My dad would disc it, just like it's disked right now. And they would disc it, and they would make, she had rows and rows of corn. I just remember that. Well, the corn was this tall, we were little, so we would get lost in the corn. And then she would plant peas in the middle of the corn. And one year we got into so much trouble because we ate all the peas, and we had a pile of the shells in the middle of the peas. And so it was just, but it was a great life. We played out here all day. They would send us out here, and there's an arroyo down there, and it had a little bit of water, and we would get out there and play and play and play all day long. She'd send us out in the morning early. We wouldn't come home until dinner time. And I remember in the center over there in the driveway, there used to be kind of it was dug out for people driving around. And so what we used to do is when it would rain, it was a place for us to get wet. So we would get wet. And so my mom would pull out a aluminum tub, and she'd bring us out here, and she'd hose us off in order to get us inside to get us a bath. And so it was just really fun memories. So what would make me different than anyone else running for office from our state, like any of the locals? Well, I am a local. This is my home. This is where I grew up. I grew up learning to live off of what we had in our home. It taught me to be very frugal. My parents were very frugal. As you've seen my home, it's a small home, but we just did the best with what we had, and that actually we never considered it to be small. It was our home. But we learned the value of really hard work. And my friend and I were just talking about this. To us, it really wasn't hard work. It's just what you did. You just took care of your animals. You cut wood. You always had wood in the fire because that's what heated your homes. And so to me, it isn't like work. It's what we do to live. And so for me, it gives me an advantage because I don't consider a lot of things more work or that it's exhausting, because it is. I think that it's just part of who I am, and I think that does give me a bit greater advantage. And frankly, I represent a greater part of New Mexico. It isn't all, yes, there's great big cities, but you go throughout New Mexico and you have small towns that you have a lot of farmland, a lot of ranches, a lot of places like that where it's just everyday normal people, just like me. Except this one is wanting to do something to lead the state. And I think that my experience here has given me a wealth that the others don't have. Because you see, I got this growing up here. I was born and raised here. Born and raised. We moved to this home itself. I can't remember. I might have been maybe 3, 4, 5 years old. I wasn't very, very old when we moved for this, because we still lived here in Cuba, just across the way. So I think that that's what gives me the advantage, is that I really understand the people in rural life. And then I went to the city, so I understand that aspect as well, because I've had that aspect as I, later on in life. But my roots are here in New Mexico, in rural New Mexico.